Hello, budgeting family and friends. My name is Shirria. This is the Shirria Mac channel where I am documenting our six-figure debt-free journey as an entrepreneurial licensed clinical social worker along with my husband, who is now a maintenance supervisor. We started our journey in October of 2023 with $305,884 worth of debt, and we have a goal to have that debt completely paid off and eliminated by December 31st, 2026, to then start to build wealth and become work optional by the age of 50, which is in 8 years for my husband. We are documenting and sharing our journey with you guys here in the form of weekly budgets, monthly budgets, debt updates. Because I am an entrepreneur, I do try to share the income that I was able to earn in my private practice. Also, am sharing some additional tips and tricks on managing your money that I have found helpful that may also be helpful to you if you are new to budgeting. So if that sounds like something you are interested in watching, if this journey sounds like something you are interested in following, please make sure to click the subscribe button so that you do not miss any one of our weekly, monthly budgets, debt updates, or any of the other things that I am sharing or will start to share on this page. Today is January week one's budget. So without any further delay, let's get right into it. So the budgeting template that you do see on the screen is my new budgeting template. I did share a video recently walking you through setting up this budgeting template for the Mac 2025 budget, and this budget template is for sale. It is currently priced at $9.99 until January the 15th, and then after the 15th it will go up to $14.99. Also, because it will include a yearly overview tab. So we will jump right into January week one's budget. If you are new here, I do budget weekly. I budget monthly, and then I also budget weekly because my husband is paid every Thursday. I am paid every Friday from my primary job, and then I am paid every other week. No, actually on the 5th and the 22nd from my full-time overnight triage counselor position, and the 5th and another day from my PRN job. So I believe some of that income is incorporated into January week one's budget. I do budget after, I do record and share the budgets after they have been closed out, but I like to share like the plan for our budgets or the plan for our income as short snippets on my Instagram and my TikTok. So if you are not following me over there, please be sure to do it. The links are listed in the description box below, and it is the same Shirria Mac in debt on both of those platforms. Okay, so this budget started Thursday, January the 2nd, and it ran to Wednesday, January the 8th. The income was planned at $4,254.75, which included a planned budget or income for $950 from my husband. He actually earned $913.71. $1,104.75 was planned for me, and I actually earned $1,107.55. $2,000 is about how much I receive from my overnight triage counselor position, and what I actually received was $2,047.78. Now, I do share payday routines. I have started to incorporate them into shorts, but I do specific payday routines for my overnight triage counselor position. That income is solely going towards debt, and then the PRN income is going towards savings and household projects. Speaking of the PRN check, I planned $200 for that, and what I actually earned was $207.59. Then no other income listed, but I did have to transfer $250 into our checking account, which bought out of our savings account, which bought our income for January week one to $4,526.63. We go over to savings, and savings was planned at $417.03 for this week. That was with $68.18 towards our 5820 or towards our house project fund. Like I said, the income, we are taking a portion of the money out of our primary income, but also out of my part-time and my PRN job income to fund household projects. And the goal for this year is to do about $3,000 in house upgrades for our home. We are still cash flowing my son's barber school, so he's actually finished, but he can't graduate and take the test until we have paid the balance. The balance was sitting at $1,800, so we are saving $165 up until February, and we should have that completely paid off, which will definitely be a plus. So we did actually save $165. $34.09 is what the weekly breakdown of the $1,500 we want to save for 2025 for my son's college fund. So we saved $34.09. This is up from the $10 that we was saving before. Christmas 2025, the goal is to save $3,000. So that computes down to $39.76 per week. $50 is still going into my high yield savings account, in addition to the 10% that goes from my full-time paycheck. And then $50 is going into my husband's savings account, and then I am still putting just $10 into my M1 investments account. So all of those transfers were made. They are usually made on Fridays when my paycheck actually goes in, because that is the totality of our income, and we actually saved $416.85. We go over to bills for this week, and bills were planned at $465.26. That was with $332 for our mortgage, which is the monthly allotment is $1,330, I believe, and that breaks down to $332 or $330 every week. And then we had to pay our life insurance at $133.26, which brought our bills for this week to $466.25. And that's usually going to always be the same unless a bill does not come out, because most of our bills are on automatic draft. For expenses this week, we had our expenses planned at $960, and that was with $200 in groceries. We spent $182.17, $135 in gas, and we spent $95.28, $70 in beauty maintenance, and I spent $68.15. $50 for my son's retwist, and we did spend $50. $65 for toiletries, and we just did not make it to the store. $0 for household, and $0 was spent. $75 for fast food, and we spent $83.72. $75 for date night. We are not having weekly date nights, although I wish we were, but we do have a date weekend coming up in February, and so the $75 every single week is going towards the date weekend. So, and I do take that out of the bank and actually do cash envelope. So the date night has a cash envelope. $50 we are now getting spend money. So he gets $50 a week and I get $50 a week. And that is also withdrawn and put into our cash envelopes. Miscellaneous was budgeted or planned at $80, and we actually spent $187.01. Tithe was planned at $50, and we tithed $225.52. Car parts was planned at $50, and we actually spent $170. And Princeton's allowance was planned at $10, and he did get $10, which brought our expenses to $1,246.85. We transitioned over to debt, and debt payments, which are just the minimum payments, was planned at $680.23 for this week. That was with $43.06 on our Carnival Barclays card, and that actually does not have a balance. $40 on my Amazon American Express, which also has a $0 balance. I did not plan to put anything on our Platinum American Express, but I did owe $301.48, which was the statement balance. $63.17 was planned for Sam's Club, and that actually did come out, so I need to log that. $184, which is just the weekly car payment, was planned for this week, but I actually was able to put $1,746.66 on the principal of my car. $350 is our HELOC. I always get questions, what is a HELOC? A home equity line of credit. That is $350, and we did pay $350. And that brought our total debt payment for this week, the first week in January of 2025, to $2,398.14. So we transitioned over to the budgeted versus the actual. The planned income was $4,254.75. We actually earned $4,526.63. Income saved was planned at $417.03, with the actual income saved at $416.85. Income spent was $1,425.26, with the actual expenses at $1,713.10. And the debt was $680.23. and the actual debt payments was $2,398.14. This left us in the negative $1.46, which does explain the $250 bank transfer out of our savings account into our checking account. The only reason we needed to do that is because I thought we had a credit on our utility bill, but apparently we didn't, and they cut us off, and we had to transfer the money out of our savings account into our checking account to pay the bill and get it reconnected. So, we go over, we go over to the diary review, and the time frame is already listed up here, January the 2nd to January the 8th. We go over here to the income breakdown, and so you see 9.2% of our income went towards savings, 27.5% of our income went towards expenses, 53% of our income went towards debt, and then 10.3% of our income went towards bills for this pay period. We go down to our expenses, and it looks like we were over in, if I go back, we were over in several categories. I won't necessarily go over all of the categories because, I mean, you can see them and they're pretty obvious. No complaints about being over in tithe. Really what that was is I also tithed 10% from my full-time paycheck. My full-time job paycheck, my overnight triage counselor position paycheck. So I tithed 10% from that. We were over in fast food, which is not anything new. And it really was because last minute planning. Then I actually had my son, he actually wanted to hang out with me, and to make it the most fun, we actually went and got some food. So you see, we spent $60.81 at La Rancherita. My husband ordered fast food for him. That really is all of the fast food. Goodness, that was, only 2 times we ate out, but it still was over. And then miscellaneous expenses. My 2025 bingo board card, which I shared in my story. And then we went to TJ Maxx and spent $158. We actually have a return. That was the bulk of it, that $158.52. What we got was an ice cream maker, which is what we're returning. We got a juicer, and then I got like some exclusive snacks, like one of the things was like a butter pecan maple syrup, which was 100% maple syrup, so I did buy that. So, just some miscellaneous things that were not necessarily budgeted for. And then tithing and miscellaneous, I think those were all of the categories that we were over in. So we now transfer over to the debt tab, and the debts that it says that we are supposed to be focusing on my Hilton American Express. You know that I'm never really focused on paying that off because I pay the state. I try to get the payment statement balance paid every single month. And then it has Sam's Club. We also pay that every single month. The actual debt that we are focusing on is still my 2023 Honda Pilot, with the balance sitting at, as of January 1st, it was sitting at $33,680.09. So that is where we are starting with my Honda Pilot. And it says that we should have that paid off by September 2025. My goal is to have it paid off by June of 2025. Actually, my very audacious goal is to have it paid off by March 2025. So if you are looking for a budgeting template and you have not had one, or you like to purchase mine, please do so to support my goal of paying off my Honda Pilot by March 2023. So that is it for our January week 1's budget. I am so happy to be back. What really threw a monkey wrench in my Vlogmas, as well as not having videos, was the fact that my daughter is home. My office / recording studio / content studio is actually her bedroom. And a lot of times she was just laid up here in the room, and when I would tell her like, hey, I need to record, or hey, I need the office, she wouldn't necessarily move. So one of the things that I really would love to do is be able to, I think I shared that we want to purchase a home. And it definitely needs to have 4 bedrooms and a an office, so I can have my own space to do these things. I had an office upstairs. I moved my office downstairs because she said when she left for college, she was never coming back. And my son cuts hair out of our home. So I gave him my old office to turn into his barber shop. And then I moved into her room. And it seems like since I moved into her room, she comes home more frequently. So I apologize for the delay and the gap in content. I tried to keep you up and keep myself relevant by sharing shorts which were also videos that I shared on TikTok, and I hope that was helpful. But I am back. She is going back to school, thank God, and I am back with regular routine content, fingers crossed. And I hope that you are here to follow the journey for 2025. So thank you so very much for watching. Is your tree still up? I just took mine down yesterday. So comment a Christmas tree if your tree is still up. No judgments, because like I said, I just took mine down yesterday. But I just want to know how many people's Christmas trees are still up. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.